Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Reality Is Where Words Do Come to Life. Listen, I have been seeing as of late issues with judges, issues with elected officials, a lot of things that just don't settle well with my spirit. And I come to realize that our system is more than flawed. It is more than jacked up. It is more than dishonest. It is truly a system that is set for white people only. I come to realize that attorneys these days, depending on what it is, are pretty much out for themselves. It's not about the right. It's not even about the wrong. It's all about the money. I come to realize that in the state's attorney's office, that facts, truth, transparency, and honesty does not take the front of the line. I come to realize that Black and brown has been at a disadvantage for past 400 years. And even though we say we live in a state, in a country of honesty, of fairness, of human rights, of constitutional rights, of laws that's supposed to cover, protect, and serve, it doesn't. I come to realize it's about who you know. I come to realize it's about the financial status and position of the person. It's not about how you legally attain something like a conceal and carry, how you legally have the right to defend yourself. I come to realize that our system allows Black and brown to sit in facilities past 2, 3 years, 4, and 5 years. There is really no statute of limitations to bring the case to the forefront. But there is always somebody that they're looking to pin it on, irregardless of them not having a background, irregardless of what evidence shows, irregardless of how it shows that the person that you convince to take a plea deal was actually in the right by defending himself. I come to realize that videos may play a part and potentially could not play a part. I come to realize that we as Black people have to fight the hardest. And we have to deplete our financial funds. Anything we got saved, we have to negate that we have children. We have to negate that we have bills. We have to negate that we have homes and rental to take care of and pay for. I come to realize that sitting in the middle of a court session with my nephew at Cook County Circuit Court, I come to realize that the state's attorney office is not as valid as it says it is. I come to realize that those who sit on the bench have no idea of what they're agreeing to because they have not seen any facts. So it's easy to sway, it's easy to coerce, it's easy to get your point across, and it's easy to get somebody to plea bargain for their life. When a person is told, if you don't win this on this end, you're going to get this on that end, then that person's mind start to wonder, and they start to think, and they start to weigh the odds. And for them, they choose the lesser of two evils, which is trickery, which is manipulation, which is deception. And all those things are illegal. But yet and still, those who sit in authority positions, like your judges, like your state's attorneys, they use their position, they use their power to their advantage to get their point across, to get the person to comply to what they want them to do without even paying attention to the facts. And I come to realize that it is a fight. It is a constant fight. I also understand there are a lot of entities out here that's supposed to help in these certain situations. And I also come to realize in sitting in the courtroom how you lose your rights and your privileges, how they are snatched from you legally, but in an illegal manner. Because you're telling somebody to do something, and you're telling somebody you'll get this if you do that. You'll get this if you sign that. You'll get this if you negate that. You understand what I'm saying? And so in those situations, those scenarios, those circumstances, I have a problem. I have a real problem with a sitting judge telling a person who is fighting for their life. They know they're in the right, but the system wants to make them wrong. And they have to explain this to their child who is underage. They have to explain to their older children. They have to tell it to their wife. And the wife is looking at the decision as the best option there is because of the age factor and because you're better have home and a decent time, at least you'll still have some time together. This system that we call fair, this system that we call justice, which is just us, has been snatching our men from homes for decades, have been snatching our women from home for decades, have been setting our children up for decades. It still amazes me to no end. It amazes me that most black men and black women, for one bullet, they get life. They get 45 years and 25 years added to that. But when a white man shoots more than one bullet that penetrates another black body 16 times, they are out in 3 years. So help me to understand, how are we being fair? How are we being transparent? No judge should make a decision on anybody's life without seeing the facts and pushing to deny somebody their rights. And then the state's attorney read the plea of why they're charging the person illegally, what they're making legal, and all the facts are wrong because what's seen on video don't match what you have on paper. But yet you're snatching lives every day. I am very angry. I am very upset. Very upset. I don't know. I've been praying about this, and God just keep letting it rest in my spirit. But something's got to change, and something has to be done. We wonder why court cases go back into court, and we wonder why innocent people are let go, because this system is not fair. As much as we push it to be, as much as we pretend it is, it's not fair. It is a discriminatory system that is built for white people alone. Black and brown never stand a chance. No household, no financial status. It doesn't matter. We are always guilty before we are innocent. And even with us protecting ourselves legally, and even with you having concealing carry, and even with you being licensed, bonded, and insured, it's still not enough to save your life from the system that is flawed, that is broken. I blame every governor. I blame every Republican. I blame every senator. I blame every congressman. I blame our president. I blame our vice president. I definitely blame the state's attorney, and I blame every judge. I blame every judge because those judges know that's right to do. You should make sure that your co-workers do what's right. You all take an oath of office, but that oath of office don't mean nothing because you don't abide by not one single word when you put your hand on that Bible. State's attorney's supposed to be fair, but they're not. Depend on the color of your skin will depend on how much they will be fair. For every reaction, there has to be an action. is the part that we keep missing. The situation I'm talking about is a very sensitive situation. Loss of life had happened. But the one person that initiated the reaction in the whole scenario was ignored. No identification, nowhere on the body that should have been described as security was not done. But yet and still, my nephew is paying the price for it all. There were more people that was involved. And I'm having a hard time with digesting this. I am. And whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it. I promise you I am. There are agencies who stand up for these things, but I'm going to see how far you will go. I'm going to see what do you really do. I'm going to test and challenge your words. We got all these agencies out here fighting for prison reform. Inmates are dying in prisons. They're starving in prisons. They're being beaten in prisons. And prisons is a commodity on black and brown. The percentage of us in there outweighs anything. The percentage of white people in there is maybe 15%. Now you explain to me, how fair can that be? We change ocean blocks, slave ships for prison cells. And yet we don't see nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Something has to give. I'm going to start a podcast about this. And I'm going to be bringing people in to talk about some things so you can understand where I'm coming from. I'm going to bring people in who's been in the system, who's been on the inside. But we're going to talk about the effects it have on families and the effect it have on children. And this system should be a shame. It should be demolished. It should be terminated because most of the people in our system right now, about 50% of them are innocent. And what they said they did not do, they did not do. And those who said they defended themselves, they defended themselves. My problem is the ones who are actually criminalizing people are the ones who get out. There are people in there who's sick, surgery, cancer, back problems. They can't do nothing else, and you won't let them out because they have a dollar sign on their head. So it's not about what's right. It's not about what's wrong. It's all about the dollar sign. And I'm sick of it. That goes for every elected official. But yet and still, when your loved ones are in trouble, you call your cards. You make your phone calls, and you get yours out. But you want to hang ours up, and I got a whole problem with it. Got a whole problem. It's white against black, and black are always wrong. And we're not always wrong. Yeah, we do some wrong, but all the time it ain't us. It's a lot of y'all with suits, ties, robes, and gavels, uniforms with badges. Think about it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.